Thank you to all who have joined us this evening for this historic moment, not only for the town of Islip, but also for Suffolk County and all of Long Island. The Heartland Town Square project has evoked an extraordinary amount of interest, public comment on both sides of the issue, and certainly not without passion. This particular project has engendered an unparalleled amount of intense effort and dedication by our Planning Commissioner Ron Meyer, his incredible support staff and team, our Town Attorney J.R. DeCiccio and his team, and certainly the members of the Town Board, who have painstakingly involved themselves in countless meetings, reviewing public testimony, comments, emails, etc. I would like to thank the applicant for his confidence and investment in our town. Islip, with a long, proud history dating back 334 years, is the third largest town in the state of New York and certainly is the place that people want to live, to work, play, and raise their families. The vision that has been articulated is that this project will give our future generations and those who have chosen to spend their retirement years in the town that they've called home a place to go and not feel the need to relocate to other regions of the country. Before I ask Ron Meyer to come forward, I just think everyone is aware there's certainly been enough outreach on emails, the website, etc., that this is a decision meeting, that we are voting this evening. The public hearing was held and closed back in April. So I'd ask Ron Meyer if he would please step up to the podium and present an overview on what we're going to be voting on this evening. Thank you, Ron.
Can you hear me? Oh, works. Good evening, Honorable Town Supervisor Carpenter, members of the Town Board, Town Attorney, and Town Clerk. It's my privilege to be here tonight to stand before you to provide...
Ron, if you could, right into the microphone, because it's, I don't know if we're hearing you that well.
It's my privilege to be here this evening to provide the staff recommendation on this 15-year process known as the Pilgrim State Planned Redevelopment District, or better known as the Heartland Town Square. Again, I want to echo your comments. Many people and much input has gone into this project for this lengthy period of time. So again, it's an honor to be here as a spokesperson, but my staff, the town attorney, other town staff, the town clerk's office, everyone's been involved in this process, and again, resulting in culmination this evening for a decision. So again, thank you for the opportunity. Again, as I mentioned, this is a 15-year process. It went through a State Environmental Quality Review Act process as well as the land use planning. The town has gone to a number of steps to gather significant public input in this project. Namely, the town had two zoning public hearings. The first was a Town Planning Board public hearing held on April 17th, 2015, in which over 100 speakers provided comments. The second opportunity is the town opened its website and obtained nearly 1,700 comments from the period of March 15, 2017 to April 25th, 2017. And those comments were collated, provided to the both elected and appointed officials, as well as reviewed. And then lastly, the Town of Islip Town Board held a public hearing on April 26, 2017, in which 144 speakers provided input. In consideration of the lengthy seeker review process and of the change of zone application input gathered through the public comment period and the review of the application, the town planning staff this evening respectively submits its recommendation. I won't go through all the details, and again, open to questions. We just want to go over some of the highlights. And again, Sean's here with me this evening to go over any particular questions. We also have a graphic. So if I may, before I go into the highlights, for the benefit of those in the audience as well as the board here, the graphic that you see before you, the area in white, was the original 452-acre change of zone application, again, the Pilgrim State Plan development. So the area in white that's half-toned that's actually the original application for the change of zone, comprised of 452 acres. The boundaries are to the north, basically the Long Island Expressway Service Road. To the east is the Sagatos Parkway, and surrounding the remaining Pilgrim State Psychiatric Hospital. So the original application submitted by the applicant over 15 years ago was the area in white. The staff recommendation this evening is recommending approval of a scaled and reduced project scope, resulting in an area known as DU1A that comprises of 113 acres. So the colored area on the graphics that you can see in the audience as well as on the screen is what the staff is recommending for recommendation for the change of zone this evening. Again, it's 113 acres and comprised of the following different components. First of all, the DU1A is approximately 33% of the original submitted 452 acre floor area. So while it's a small area in size compared to the remnant, it does represent the most dense and unique town center area. The maximum building height shall be, its staff recommendation is limiting to 10 stories within this area. DU1A consists of 3,504 residential units, of which 10%, roughly 350 units, are to be set aside as 80 to 100% of the U.S. HUD NASA Suffolk median housing income for affordability. There's 560,000 square feet of retail space within this area, and there's 626,000 square feet of office space defined as Class A office space. The developer will pay $9 million in off-site town road mitigation fees during DU1A construction period. The developer will pay $3.7 million over the initial 5-year construction period to ensure that the town of Islip taxpayers are not bearing the expense of additional staff, vehicles, or equipment necessary to review and approve the Heartland construction activity. The developer shall expend $2 million in acquiring, renovating blighted premises in the Brentwood hamlet prior to the construction of 1,500 residential units within DU1A. And the majority of the DU1A roads shall be privately owned and maintained to offer the developer creative design standards resulting in improved aesthetics. Again, that's an overview. Sean's here with me this evening. Or do you have any particular questions at this juncture?
Okay, before we go into questions and comments, let me bring the resolution before us. We have a resolution before us this evening concerning the approval of Phase 1 of Development Unit 1A of Heartland Town Square. This resolution is a result of a collaborative effort among the entire town board and our planning staff. The elements included in this resolution are the adoption of the Pilgrim State Planned Redevelopment District, the PSPRD, as it pertains to Phase 1. The approval of a change of zone from residential AAA to the newly established PSPRD with respect to the 113 acres which constitute Phase 1 of Development Unit 1A, as depicted on the overall phasing diagram, subject to covenants and restrictions dated July 18, 2017. The adoption of the conceptual master plan prepared by RTKL Inc. dated 2/18 of 2015 and as amended by the Town of Islip planning staff July of 2017, and permission for the applicant to redevelop Phase 1 of Development Unit 1A in accordance with the PSPRD and the said master plan. As far as the remainder of the application, any decision on subsequent phases is reserved until such time as Phase 1 of Development Unit 1A is substantially complete. That being said, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. Second by Councilman Cochran. And I am certain then we'll open it up for discussion and comments. I'm certain that the members of the board would like to comment or if they have any questions. Councilwoman Bergen?
Ron, I just wanted to, sorry, Commissioner?
Can't hear you.
Yeah, this is
Go
on.
closer. I don't know what it is, but go closer.
Commissioner, can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Sorry. I just wanted to point out and make abundantly clear how very scaled back the portion is that we are voting on today. It not being the original entire project, it's just the blue area.
Correct.
That's it. Any other questions, comments?
Comments.
Councilman Cochran.
Commissioner, your predecessors had to kick the iceberg. You and your staff in the last 2 years had the iceberg. I can't thank you enough for all the training and briefings and meetings and working with the developer. Your staff has been outstanding, and I appreciate the comments through the internet, people coming to my office. This is a tough decision, but I think everybody worked together. So thank you, your staff. Thank you, Joe, and your crew.
Councilwoman?
I would just like to echo those comments made by Councilman Cochran. The planning staff has been outstanding, and I just want to compliment you and your staff, Commissioner. And I just have one question regarding the covenants. You want me to ask now? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
This is the time.
With respect to ownership in this particular phase, it says that I believe it was it 10% that was going to be ownership. Is that going to be in one specific building or designated buildings, or is it going to be spread throughout?
The developer would like the flexibility. Obviously, from a real estate plan point, most people do congregate that into one building for real estate value as well as management of the property. But he does have the right in these covenants that if he does want to scatter or distribute the fee simple in rental units as well as in sole buildings, they can do that. But yes, 10% of the overall units are required to be fee simple ownership.
Thank you. Councilman Flattering?
Yes, first a couple of questions. I see it here on covenants number 14, it has 90 acres of woodlands, and this is separate from the 113 we're talking about, correct?
Yes.
And where is that located on this?
Parts of it are the buffer to the Comac Road residents, as well as areas up by the cemetery, as well as Sagato's Parkway. So these are the existing vegetation areas that were to be vegetative screens to surrounding residents as well as to Parkway travelers.
Also, in this, the height of this, you said the tallest of these 10 stories, what is the existing height of the other Pilgrim State buildings that are there presently? It's lower, the same?
Approximately 10 stories.
So
The maximum buildings out there existing today and the remaining remnant are 10 stories.
okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, we have the resolution before us. We have a motion and a second. I will call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and
Second.
a second to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Cars can oftentimes stop on a dime. Trains can't. In fact, at 60 miles an hour, it can take a train up to a mile to come to a halt. Please wait for the gate.